going on, Jerome? So the Vikings have one of the best defensive coordinators in the National Football League in Brian Flores. And Flo, I love Brian Flores. Like he's no nonsense. He gets after things and made a big impact on the Vikings defense last year. And Flores worked his way up through the Patriots organization, scout, assistant, de facto defensive coordinator. His final game with the Patriots was the Super Bowl where Jared Goff scored 3 points. Yeah. Take that, Sean McVay, aka who's the small Ed Sheeran. Nailed it. Good times, man. But then he got the Dolphins head coaching job, but it didn't end great. On the field, there were some great things, especially on defense, but Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, and Flores did not see eye to eye, and there's a discrimination case pending, so yeah, that's floating out there. But eventually, even though he was let go by the Dolphins, Mike Tomlin brought him aboard his staff for a season, and then last year the Vikings hired him as defensive coordinator. And the difference was huge, going from Donishell in 2022 to Flores in 2023, largely with the same personnel. Flores turned that defense around. They were 28th in points, 31st in yards in 2022. They went to 13th at 16th. So you had one of the worst defenses in the league, all of a sudden becoming middle of the pack. Plus, that's big. Also, passing yards per attempt and rushing yards per attempt were 30 and 22nd in the league, respectively, in 2022, went to 15 and 4. So, which is beautiful. And red zone went from 21st to 14th. So they made improvements in many areas, leaps and bounds, and really excited to see what Flores is going to do this year. Another round of free agency and the draft with his guys and unleashing the fury. Even without Danielle Hunter, with Diamond Dallas Turner, Jonathan Grenard, AVG, his guy, and company, I think there's a lot of things going on. But, of course, we as Vikings fans can't just be like, hey, let's just enjoy the moment. We got to be like, how long is Brian Flores going to stay? All right, so how long can the Vikings hang on to Flores, who is 43 years young and is obviously champing at the bit to get himself another NFL head coaching job deservedly? He deserves it. And here's what's frustrating. So after this phenomenal season where he took a defense that basically went from worst to top 13, 14 in the league, and he got zero goose egg D'Angelo Russell NFL head coaching interviews because of so it's pretty clear that the NFL is freezing on Brian Flores, or it could just be 32 individual teams making that decision. Either way, Flores obviously deserves a chance to be a head coach again, but it could be complicated. There's a couple factors that will go into this. Number one, the Vikings' defensive success. Now, if Flores this season with his guys, because he's been very heavily involved in free agency and the draft process with Kwesi, if his defense is top 10, top 5, how can teams ignore that? Then so it's pretty obvious now, but if that happens, or in Flores is the captain of one of the best defenses in the league, that's blatantly obvious. Blatantly obvious. A Vikings team success also factors in there too, because hey, the Vikings are winning and growing and showing, and if Flores can't find the right job, or if he's not getting the offers that he wants, maybe he sticks around, and maybe the Vikings have de facto head coach of the offense with O'Connell and a de facto head coach of the defense with Brian Flores. And also, Flo and KOC's working relationship, like everything that has come out, like it's very good, mutual respect, and hopefully that continues. But as you've seen, like, when there's success, sometimes egos get involved. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I think that O'Connell and Flores are both professionals, but we'll see. And also money and family. So if the Vikings want to hang on to Flores, making him the highest paid coordinator in the league does make sense. And also, Flores has kids, and Flores has been in. He's had coaching stability. Obviously coming up through the Patriots organization, had a couple years with the Dolphins, 1 year with the Steelers, and now here. Now, he had stability at the beginning of his career, been a little bit transient last couple of seasons. This year with the Vikings will be the first time he's been in the same spot for 2 years since his final year with the Dolphins. But you'll see this too. Like, you'll look at coaching resumes on like their Wikipedia, and it'll be different job every single year. And then all of a sudden they'll stay put for 4, 5, 6 years. And now you think to yourself, like, why did that happen? Because they're leveling up, they're changing jobs, they're getting hired and fired. It's because if you have stability, it's very rare in this profession. And also, like if your kids are in school and like if they're middle school, high school, it's really good to have them in the same place for a couple of years so they can just live their middle school, high school life with their friends. They don't have to move. They don't have to make new friends all over again in a very tenuous time of their lives. And it's good. I mean, when coaches are able to do that, when players are able to do that, I love it, because you're putting your family first, and it's good. And also, the lawsuit, it's an elephant in the room. Like, you can't really ignore it. Also, other teams not being scared. So all it takes is one. Like, all it takes is one team to be like, don't care about Florida. Because that's exactly what the Vikings did. I feel like the Vikings don't get enough credit for being like, hey, we don't care what else is going on. And the Wilfs probably, from the rest of the league, and maybe even Stephen Ross, maybe they had a couple eyebrows raised at them at the NFL owners meeting in Orlando. And basically the Vikings were like, don't care. He's a great coach, and we're very lucky to have him. All right. But again, all it takes is one team. And then also college job, right? So Flores has never been a college coach, but Flores was a great linebacker / safety / basically, it was like Josh Metellus for the Eagles back in the day. But that's his alma mater. And there have been some speculation, because their head coach took the Packers defensive coordinator job, that Flo could be in the mix. Now, there wasn't anything formalized, and Bill O'Brien, also a former Patriots assistant, eventually took that job. But I don't think Bill O'Brien's giving me that job for long, man. I think his ass going to get fired. So maybe this is going to be like a Bear Bryant going back to Alabama situation. Mama called. And hell, Boston College has an opening, and they're legitimately interested in Brian Flores. Like, he played in the Northeast. He's from the Bronx. He spent tons of time with the Patriots. Like, the Northeast is home. So maybe that could make sense. Other factors. General manager job. So, like we said, Flores was definitely more entrenched with the draft and free agent process this year, and he does have a scouting background. So could it be the weird wild card spot where a team is interested in him to be GM? It's possible. Oh, and going back to the college thing, I don't know if Flores. So Flores has never said that he specifically would take a college job, and he's never coached in college. And also, I don't think that he has the. I don't think he has the demeanor for the modern college game, because basically, if a defensive back says, I need $500,000 of NIL money or I'm leaving, this is the look that Flores is going to give. The thing I love about Flo is that he's all about ball. He's no nonsense. He has high standards, and he enforces them. And that's fantastic, man. Lastly, Flores can wait for the right spot, because this Vikings defense is only going to get better and better and better. And it's one of the youngest units in the league. Basically, if you take away Harrison, it probably is the youngest defense in the league. Actually, both Harrisons. But Flores can wait. He doesn't have to take a job just to take a job, and I think that's what is good for the Vikings. Again, it sucks because Flores deserves a head coaching job, but there's a lot of factors that could prohibit that. All right. And unless the perfect job comes along, he could be here 2, 3, 4, 5 years plus, which, to be honest, could be kind of great. So as O'Connell grows and shows this offense with Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, Darisaw, McCarthy, I'm feeling myself right now. And as Flores grows his defense with Diamond, Dallas Turner, and Metellus, and Ivan Pace Jr. and company, it's just going to be good. It's going to be good, man. So, like I said, I love and respect Flores. I think he's done a hell of a job so far. He's going to do a great job this season and into the future if he's around. He deserves another shot at being a head coach, but if it doesn't work out, we're more than happy to have him. Absolutely, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. How long will Brian Flores stay with the Minnesota Vikings? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.